Okay, so here's this Mousin Around diverter arm assembly, and these seem to be quite a crappy issue on the Mousin Around by Bally Williams. So I disassembled mine, and as you can see, I'll turn it around. What typically is the problem is you have a lot of moving mechanical parts. Most of the time operators would just grease these up so they'd flow a little more fluidly. Then over time that grease builds up with dirt, and then of course what ends up happening is the dirt and the grease climb and kind of sticks. On mine, the grease was built up pretty bad up here, but as you can see, whoops, sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. You can see this arm here, this little armature here was spun, so it was spun this way, and this was rubbing really hard against this metal post. I've since cleaned it and readjusted it, and so now it spins there. So let me show you what this is supposed to do when it activates. So I'll press in the plunger, and it basically does this. And now, as you can see, it's not catching against this post anymore. The other part of this mechanically is this little arm, and there's a little aperture in there that slides this thing to slide in a triangle. The trick is this spring kind of holds this thing, and this moves up and down. So, again, one-handed. As you move it, it catches, and the diverter arm is closed. And when the plunger's hit again, it releases it, and then it goes out. This spring here needs to have the proper tension, and then, of course, the spring on top here has to be able to allow that plastic armature up and down. This thing was all gummed up with all different kinds of lubricants. White, some was silicone, some was just 3-in-1 oil that probably accumulated over time, but I since cleaned it all up. I'm not sure this thing needs any lubrication. I suppose you could use a light silicone lubricant because that usually won't attract dirt as bad. Silicone won't, but mine's working just fine, and so if you can see it, it's catching and releasing, and it was sticking really hard. And so the game, what it would do is it would click, 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 and that diverter arm, when it's not closed all the way, it allows you to score ridiculously high scores in this game, and so always a problem. I just figured I'd take it apart, shoot a quick video, and let you guys know what I did to fix this thing. And I also trimmed a little bit off this spring here because that wasn't tensioned very well, and since the tension wasn't there, it wouldn't always reset, and so that was kind of another problem. The spring was kind of pulled, and so I just clipped a little end off so it'd give a little bit better tension, and of course it does now. And then, of course, spin this around. This up here is what the operator was, it's what the operators were greasing really hard, and that thing was just all gummed up with gunk. So now it's not, of course, not hitting this anymore. This is, on this end, it's traveling much more clearly. So anyway, there's that Bally Mousin Around diverter arm issue. And now it's going freely, and I suspect this will solve all my problems on this game, and hopefully it helps you guys. Thanks.